Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Jan Scott. Welcome to the program tonight here on a Saturday night. Jan Scott tonight, 8 o'clock. Lots of things to talk about. We're going to talk about the flag this evening. There it is. We're going to talk about the commies, the socialists, the WTO crowd that want to blame America for everything rather than looking at the fact that we are the leaders of the world and we're doing a lot of good things. We'll look at the Clinton administration and all the good things that they've done in the past 8 years that they've been in. We're going to look at why you have to vote for Al Gore, obviously. We went to the CU Buffs Media Day. We're going to look at that. We rode with the cops. We're going to look at some violent crime. An entertaining and interesting show coming up. It's Jan Scott tonight. How you doing?
Nice calling. I've had some musical programs on Channel 54, and I was listening this evening, and you were talking about past revolutionary soldiers. I was just the past regent for Arapaho Chapter, Daughters of American Revolution, and yes, my grandfather, Benjamin Broombach, from Valley Forge, actually Westchester, Pennsylvania, but Valley Forge, also was in the, I have, as in other words, 10 generations back. So my number is 494-3072, and I do a lot of study on the revolution, and I was really glad that you were bringing that up. But anyway, yes, I've studied all the wills, handwritten wills and everything from my family all the way back. And yes, I live here in Boulder. So thanks a lot, and thanks for mentioning us. Bye.
Bye. You know what's really interesting about the folks here in Boulder? There are a lot of people. I know of 2 people that have, actually 3, whose direct descendants in this town alone who've come over on the Mayflower. Yeah, it's just in Boulder alone. Now, of course, if you and that's actually very, very rare, whether you're in New England or here in Colorado, but certainly. So Boulder's sort of an interesting place. That I mean, if you think about it, 3 descendants from the Mayflower. That's going some. The other is, the American Revolution. If you go back in New England, of course, in Massachusetts, especially, or Connecticut, there are lots of people who have relatives and descendants from the American Revolution. And of course, as we've talked about this in the show before, I grew up back there in, in a small New England town. A lot of things have changed because most of the New Englanders are gone. The yuppies actually have moved in. It's become a large suburbia. But when I went to school, grade school back in the 50s, there were 2 congregational churches, the North Congregational Church and the South Congregational Church. The people who went to the South Congregational Church, it was formed because their ancestors were Tories. They fought on the side of the Crown. And then the North Congregational Church folks, families or ancestors had fought on the side of the rebels. And even in grade school, when I was a child, I was told by my parents, you are not allowed to play with, say, the Strongs, as an example, David Strong. He was a good friend of mine, but I was not allowed to go over to his house because his descendants were on the side of the Tories. And there was like this shame around that whole thing. So anybody who went to the South Congregational Church, they were like out. You think of the Civil War as an example. North and South, and you say other people down South are still fighting the Civil War. I mean, in small New England towns back in the 50s, it was pretty much heartfelt. If there was somebody who fought on the side of King George, or God forbid they were, a German mercenary that had come here, they were not liked, and that's why I think it's part of what made New England icy. It was also why the hell I got out of there, man. Plus, they rode me out of town. It's like, get him out of here. You know, in the West, you talk to a lot of people that have grown up here in Boulder. I mean, the West has changed. You know, there are no cowboys, if you notice. You go to Longmont, places like that, there are farmers on the eastern slope. Ranchers are almost non-existent, although there is, if you go out here on off of 63rd Street, you will find some very small cattle ranches, but all the cattle and sheep are on the western slope, and the West has certainly changed. I mean, a great deal. This whole Front Range is, you know, it's California. It's not what Colorado used to be. Well, that you can go out to the Leaning Tree Museum out here, and there's a museum of Western art. So I mean, okay, there are, you know, not entirely gone, but anyways, Melanie Mage calling for the Daughters of the American Revolution. You know, and it's one of the reasons why I fly the American flag on the TV show. Besides, I know it pisses off the communists and the socialists and, you know, the little hippie druggy I hate America types, but I enjoy tormenting to no end, like the board of the CATV board. I mean, I'm certain they hate the American flag. On the other hand, you know, it's a flag. It represents our country. I was at the North Boulder Rec Center the other day, you know, working out, and in comes this mom with you know, tie-dye shirt and everything, and she has her little daughter with her who's like about 14, and on her daughter's t-shirt, working out in the North Boulder Rec Center weight room, she has handwritten, "I hate America." And I'm looking at that and I'm going, why? I mean, here's a kid, she has on "I hate America." It's like, she probably doesn't even know why she hates. She doesn't even know what America is. I mean, like, why? Why do you hate America? For what? What is it that you hate? You hate the people? You hate the American people? You hate your neighbors? Is that it? You hate peace, prosperity? You hate democracy? Is that it? Do you hate freedom? Is that what you hate? This is to the WTO crowd. The ones that went to Seattle, and the ones that were at the Republican National Convention, and the ones that are going to the Democratic National Convention, the ones that hate NAFTA, that hate the World Trade Organization. So this is a question to you. Why do you hate America? Why do you hate the flag? Do you not want to see the rest of the world succeed? Do you not want to see the world economy get stronger? You want to see it decline? You want more starvation? You want less jobs in third world countries? Is that what you want? You would rather see people take up their mats and die on their mats? You want to see starving people in the Ganges in India continue to starve? Is that what you want? You want less jobs in India? Let me see if I have this straight. You want a poor world economy? You want the collapse of civilization? Is that what you want? Is that environmentalism? Is that what you want? Yeah. Answer me. 447-1-JAW. I'm watching this very same channel preceding me. I can't fucking believe it. They run this communist crap that Mark Fear takes in there, another board member who has this commie show. And these people are on there saying, you know, they're protesting and they hate capitalism. Hey, capitalism saves the damn world. We've got 5 billion people? I don't even know how many. That need to be fed. You know, we need jobs worldwide. Why blame us? Why? Oh, forget about it. Talk to these jerk-offs. Anyways, that's why I fly this thing. I think these people, you know, I mean, there's like, they represent an teensy-teensy-weensy % of society. And if they had, you know, if they said something that made any sense, any real sense, but I don't get it. I mean, the Clinton administration has done wonders for not only the national, but the world economy. When Al Gore gets in, they will continue to do wonders for the world economy. But this commie crowd, this anarchist, destructive crowd, they want to see the destruction of everything. And they don't do shit to contribute to society. I know what I sound like. Don't get me started on me. But I mean, I don't get it. What is wrong with jobs? What is wrong with a strong worldwide economy? You tell me that. I don't. You rather have more starvation than less starvation? Is that it? I mean, I don't get it.
Press 2. Check receipt. I was just like jack-a-lacking around your show.
Jack-a-lacking?
Thought I'd call the phone number. Looks like the Blair Witch Project gone awry.
That's me. Thanks for calling.
Do we get some feedback? Where's the cat that retarded? So we're doing a little phone July. What will be tuned up? End of message.
Your calls here on the Jaw line, 447-1-JAW. Some of the topics up for discussion tonight are the politically correct communists and socialists in Boulder. And why is it that they want more starvation, less jobs, and a failed world economy? You know, why do they want to bring Armageddon on? I don't quite get this crowd at all. And what's wrong with the WTO anyways? And what about the IMF? I mean, I think it's kind of wonderful that we have a strong World Bank and that Germany's doing so well and that America's doing well. I think it's great. In fact, I'm particularly happy to be an American and to live in this country. I'm glad that the economy is terrific. I'm glad that there's unemployment, the lowest that we've ever seen, and that there are jobs everywhere, and that America is the land of the free. This is the land of opportunity. I am particularly glad that the American dream is alive and well for anybody who wants it. That makes me happy. Yeah. Take this opportunity to sing a song. Let's see here. Haven't done this in a while. Starting to sound like Bobcat. Okay, here we go. She's a grand old flag, she's a high-flying flag, and forever a place may she wave. She's the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast nor a brag. And should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Boom, tsh. I feel better now that I've sung a song about the flag. Alright. How are you tonight? Good evening and welcome to the show. Lots of things to talk about this evening. Take your calls on the comment line, 447-1-JAW. We went up to visit the CU Buffs. We're going to talk about them a little bit. We rode with the cops. We're going to talk about that. We're going to show you some video on that. So kind of an interesting program. Plus there have been a lot of news stories and comment line phone calls that we need to get to. So over tonight and tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, lots of news talk television right here on Jen Scott tonight.
I just called to be in contact with your electronic equipment. It just does it for me.
Alright, does it for me too. Thank you.
Anyway, buddy.
Yo.
This is Agent reporting for duty.
Meow to yourself. Meow. Meow.
Hi, Jan. This is Sheila Horton. I've been wanting to call you to thank you for your help and support and sort of guidance in the whole homeless shelter thing. I thought your experience was invaluable.
Yeah, it is.
Wanted to just
I know the topic.
To you, if you haven't seen the Shelter Skelter piece of drivel that Wayne Lageson wrote in this week's Boulder Weekly, you might find it of interest. I was really pretty appalled. I had a lengthy, great start.
Wayne Lageson, nice guy that he is completely uninformed on the homeless issue. Continuing.
Conversation with him where we talked about fact and some real perspective on the thing, and he acted like he never even had the conversation. I was really, really disgusted with his article, so I wanted to kind of bring that to your attention. I know you've had him on your show several times, so
Even Boulder Weekly could not, save the move of the homeless shelter. It was a ill-conceived plan from the beginning, and the issue is on the homeless shelter. The issue is, it is the alcoholism, stupid. It's the alcoholism. It's the alcoholism. It's the alcoholism.
Anyhow, between that and the editorial today, it's interesting how we don't deal with the issues. We just attack the opposition. Do it nationally, do it locally, too. It just is really disgusting. But anyhow, so I did want to thank you because I enjoyed talking with you, and it was helpful, and I look forward to dealing with you and working with you in the future. Thanks, John. Thanks, Jan. Thanks.
I would look too forward to working with me. I would be somewhat...
Erase.
Taking your calls right here on the Jawline on Jan Scott Tonight.
At 7:52.
How are you? Hi.
Hi, Kim. Skipping. Thursday, July 20th at 12:34 p.m.
My fans.
Again, this is Dave Gilman at the Bank in Boulder, returning your call regarding the Colorado Music Festival. If you'll call me at 303-938-4854. Thank you.
Money, Dave. I need money. Money, 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 money.
Save. Press incorrect. Erased. Sent Friday, July 21st at 11:19.
Dave doesn't live in Boulder. He hasn't seen my show.
Yeah, this is Ian, man. I've been watching your show, and I think it's fucked up the way the fucking whole Ramset case is going, man. I'm like pretty fed up with it. I've been trying to call Boulder detectives and talk to them, and they don't even give a fuck about anything, man. It's fucked up. So this is the second time I read Steve Thomas's book. It shows me that DA's office and Tom Kobe was all fucked up, and I know that you were like friends with Tom Kobe and you talked to him, but man, after reading his book, it just shows how the Boulder justice system works. I hope you can get a show on with Steve Thomas, man. This is just bullshit. I don't even know what to say about this anymore, but it's messed up, man. You should do some more shows on. I saw your show with Linwood and Mark Beckner. I think Mark Beckner's kind of just keeping the status quo too. You just get in there and gotta get in there and rock the boat, man.
Peace out. Peace. Okay. Yeah. Well, we got Mary Keenan in there now. She's the new district attorney, and Steve Thomas flat out accuses her of breaking into the district attorney's war room and jiggling the computer. I've also heard Ben Thompson told me that Keenan had taken the war room records in her personal car and then put a bunch of fish in the trunk to cover up the to cover up the evidence. So we now have Trip DeMuth and Mary Keenan. We have an extension of Alex Hunter in the district attorney's office running things. You can be assured that nothing will come of the Ramsey case forever. It also shows that Boulder really didn't want to solve that case. You, the people. You gave Ben Thompson 2,000 votes in the district attorney's election, 2,600 votes. Ben Thompson said that there would be an arrest in the Ramsey case. He would have brought charges. I interviewed him, talked to him. In fact, I'll run the interview that I have with Ben Thompson. But the Ramsey case. Oh, Jesus. Don't get me started. Virtually every police officer in this town that I have talked to said there was enough evidence right then and there in the Ramsey case alone. I mean, there was enough evidence to arrest the Ramseys. I talked to an officer yesterday, a 15-year veteran with the CU Police Department. The first thing he said was any district attorney who looked at the evidence would have seen right away there was enough evidence to arrest the Ramseys clearly that they did it. So I don't know. Here's a story, today's paper, or a couple of days ago. Chris Anderson with the Boulder Daily camera. Ramsey former housekeeper sues DA. Here it is. Okay, this is Darnell Hoffman, the New York City attorney who was involved in this child abuse murder case back in the 80s. The physician, the surgeon, I guess, who murdered his child with his wife. They seemed to be, they could clearly get away with it. They tried to make it look like a SIDS case or something. And Darnell Hoffman was involved in that. So this guy, if anybody knows child murder cases, it's Darnell Hoffman. He is now representing the Ramsey's former housekeeper, Linda Hoffman Pugh, in a civil case against the district attorney's office here in Boulder. They're going to put the DA on trial. He also represents the newspaper reporter that the Ramseys accused of being a pedophile and accused them of murdering their daughter. So this guy now has two cases. I think Darnell Hoffman is going to get this case tried in several civil cases. And so this is one to follow and a guy to follow, because he is not going to screw around. Hoffman, in his suit with Linda Hoffman Pugh, wants the secret findings of the grand jury revealed. And then, of course, at the end of this, the Ramseys say, oh yes, we want it revealed too. Well, of course, they've been exonerated, I guess. We don't really know what the grand jury had to say, because Alex Hunter wouldn't tell us. But this thing is not going away. This is going to haunt us until there's a civil case and the Ramseys are convicted in a civil case, just the way O.J. was. This is not going away. This is in our lap for keeps until it's dealt with. And I see absolutely zero confidence in the current district attorney's office and the future one. And you, Boulder, you know, you don't want this. You do not want this case solved. You have shown your colors. You have shown your colors on the Ramsey case, Boulder, and the color is the color of this shirt. You, Boulder, didn't want justice. You know, you wanted, you wanted the image. You wanted, I don't know what the fuck you wanted, man. I'm ashamed of all of you. Why I'm ashamed of you? Go talk to Robert Redford. Yeah. Talk to Shona Redford's dead boyfriend's mother. Talk to Sid Wells' mom. Thayne Simyka clearly murdered Sid Wells, shotgunned him to death. The cops arrested him, they had him in jail, and Alex Hunter wouldn't prosecute that case. And Thayne Simyka walks free today with two families very, very distraught and destroyed, and lots of CU students very upset about it. And the case is the same with the Ramseys. Although, you know what, New York Attorney Darnell Hoffman is going to come to Boulder, and he's going to come here and he's going to kick some serious ass. It is on. We will end up with a civil conviction of the Ramseys. Criminal, boy, I'm not with Mary Keenan in office. Never going to happen. Thompson, he's running for DA. They call him the dark horse. The big question is, will this be a Jesse Ventura turnaround here in Boulder, and will he win the election based just on the Ramsey case alone? But what we haven't talked about are your credentials. You are a lawyer, right?
I am. I've been a trial lawyer for 30 years. I've tried 50 criminal jury trials, 12 death penalty cases, and hundreds of civil cases. So I have a pretty good bit of experience in trial.
You have an office here in Boulder?
I do. Been in Boulder for 20 years almost. Have my own office, my own practice. I'm a former elected official. Ran for city council. I was elected and selected as mayor.
Where?
In Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee.
My hometown.
Well, that's a big town.
Yes, it is. So I hope that if people vote for me, it's not just because of the Ramsey case. I mean,
well, they want to know that you're capable of doing the job, running a DA's office. Of course, running the DA's office the way it's run now isn't too hard to do. All you have to know how to do is spell the word plea bargain.
Well, either that,
I know plea bargain.
Know how to travel. I mean, our current DA now is teaching lawyers and district attorneys from other areas how to manage high-profile murder cases. I wish he'd have taught some of our DAs how to do that.
And how to pronounce the word Geraldo, or the glow, or come on in, Jeff, have a chair.
What else could I give you?
Yeah, the one on the stream was there all week.
I think it's still there, but the other one disappeared.
You know what we should do?
The first Democrat, I'm the first Democrat that he ever made a contribution to. And when he said that, his wife punched him and said, "What are you talking about? You've never even given a Republican any money either."
Steve Thomas is in the chips now.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know about in the chips, but he's doing all right.
Oh, okay.
On the National Reporters. For some reason, I'm not sure why. And I've had reporters come to me and say that he gave them information about police officers that had nothing to do with the case. It was personal information. And I have no doubt the DA's office was leaking like a sieve. There's no question in my mind.
So you're the dark horse in this case.
That's what they say. I think I'm the front runner. I'm not the front runner in raising money. I'll acknowledge that. And I don't go around taking signs like some people do, but other than that, I'm a front runner. I'm only aware of 2 polls.
Wait a minute, taking signs. So somebody taking down your signs?
First weekend we put them up. We put up 100, and 20 of them disappeared within 2 days. Everywhere I go, they're disappearing. Actually, I'll speak for Tripp too. His are disappearing too. And you'll see 3 in a row. You'll see Mary's, Tripp's, and mine. And the next day, Tripp's and mine are gone, and Mary's is still there.
Do you think maybe Mary Keenan's getting out 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning as a personality disorder? She's out there stealing the signs.
I cannot imagine that she's doing that, but I cannot imagine that she doesn't know that it's happening.
All right, let's get right to the heart of the matter. The Ramsey case. I've read in the media they said there will be an arrest, and what I'd like to know is, will we see John and Patsy Ramsey in handcuffs? Will you actually have them arrested if you become DA?
I've decided to talk about the arrest itself, but not about the specifics, not about who I would arrest, not about what I would arrest them for. I think that would be improper. But there's no doubt in my mind that if I'm nominated as a Democrat and I survive in November, there will be arrests in January.
Well, that's... A lot of people in Boulder would say that's reason enough right there to elect you.
I hope so.
Steve Thomas's book, in his book, and I've talked to some of the police officers, including Ron Gossage and, how's the other guy's name? The lead detective, Wickman, who said there were major problems with Tripp DeMuth, and they both corroborated what Steve Thomas said in his book, that DeMuth essentially sabotaged the case.
Well, let me
okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think Tripp was a soldier. I think he was carrying out orders. And I don't think they ever wanted to try that case. And what we know about the case now is the spin that the DA's office put on it to justify their not trying it. When you look at the facts haven't changed. That there were mistakes. I will say there were mistakes by the police department. There were mistakes by the DA's office. But the mistakes by the police department were honest mistakes. Separate from the O.J. Simpson case, where the police intentionally may have planted evidence. We don't have that kind of allegation. What we have is that some people made honest mistakes, and I don't think that changes the facts. But I do believe the DA's office has put a spin on this case.
Mary Keenan's card was on the imprint, computer imprint was on the war room. Steve Thomas intimated that she tried to break into the war room on the night that the computer was tampered with.
I personally believe the computer was tampered with, and I personally believe somebody tried to get in it. I don't know whether it was Mary or not, but the story about why they were down there putting fish in I guess they were wrapping fish up in tinfoil and decided to drive a couple of miles and put it in the dumpsters out back.
I never heard that.
Well, that's an interesting story. That's what I've heard, the reasons Mary's car was used. The guy used it or somebody used it and went in the wrong office.
Can we give you a bumper sticker?
That's awfully tough to believe.
We got a yard sign?
Would you like to hold the camera for me?
Ben Thompson, he's running for DA. They call him the dark horse. The big question is, will this be a Jesse Ventura turnaround here in Boulder, and will he win the election based just on the Ramsey case alone? That was 2 weeks ago down at the farmers market interviewing Ben Thompson. Now, actually, in the election in November, you can still elect Ben Thompson by having him be a write-in candidate. You can write him in. He can still win. So if you are thinking, oh my God, maybe I made a huge mistake in the Democratic primary. I mean, Sanderson stands 0 chance of winning. Ben Thompson, I mean, what the heck? You can put Ben Thompson in for 4 years. If you don't like him, you can kick him out. But, you know, the guy who's qualified, you can write him in. He can be elected. All right? He can have a runaway campaign. It is possible. I like the guy just because he's got big balls. Yeah, he's got... I just, you know... You can redeem yourself, Boulder. It is possible. You don't have to just go on and be a chump over this injustice of the Simyka and Ramsey case. You are not stuck with Mary Keenan. You can write Ben Thompson in. It is possible. You can turn the DA's office around. Why not? Why not? You know the darn thing was a mess. I mean, they really screwed up that case. Maybe, you know, Keenan could work for Ben Thompson and continue her sex crime, you know, prosecutorial bent.
Hey Jan, this is Ian, man. I've been watching your show, and I think it's fucked up the way the fucking whole Ramsey case is going, man. I'm like pretty fed up with it. I've been trying to call Boulder detectives and talk to them, and they don't even give a fuck about anything, man. It's fucked up.
The general tenure around this town.
13 p.m.
Yeah, you moron. God, your show, I can't believe I just was switching through the channels and your show's still on. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, man, and up yours, punk.
And who the hell else is going to help people that can't help themselves? That's why maybe you should think about helping other people out.
I do all the time.
On your freaking
No, I do all the time, you drunkard.
Meatball. God, you're an idiot.
Yeah, here, this is for you. There.
End. Erased.
He farted at him!
20 seconds at 10:54 a.m.
God, that's awful music. With regards to the homeless shelter, one of the things that caught my eye was the guy hitting the thing up as a banker. And I thought, well, that's peculiar, since when the hell have you ever heard of a benevolent banker? And then they started yapping about, they're going to teach classes about how they're going to, find work and do things like that. And then it struck me that the best part of that homeless shelter is nothing more than a damn flop house for slave labor. For Stephanie's Boutique and all those kind of
What are you talking about?
places that can't afford competitive labor. Anyhow, I just thought I might toss that little tidbit along. Keep up the dirty work. Hi. Bye-bye.
End of message.
Well, yeah, okay, so, look.
Erased.
First of all, on the homeless shelter. If they had a job line in there, okay, if they opened a new homeless shelter and said, okay, first of all, in order to stay at the new homeless shelter, you have to be sober. And we want you to take antabuse if you're an alcoholic, and have random drug testing if you're a drug addict. And if you don't like that, you don't have to stay here. You can go to Denver. You can go any place you want to, but if you're going to stay in this homeless shelter, stay sober. And then we're going to put in 5 phone lines. And you guys are going to man the phones, and you're going to call around to companies and try to get jobs. And what you say is, look, we got somebody down here who's sober, who has clean clothes, who's had a shower. Oh no, sober? Oh no, we couldn't have that, Jan. A shower? You will make them take showers? Oh no! Yeah, you have to take a shower if you're going to stay at the new homeless shelter. Oh no, that violates our civil rights. Oh no! And you have to quit drinking. Oh no, that violates my civil rights. Not only that, we want you to have drug testing here to stay at our homeless shelter. Oh no! Oh no! And we want you to get a job. Oh no, a job! Oh no! You kid, you're so mean-spirited. You're so cruel. You're gonna make them get a job? Fuck yeah, the rest of us work, don't we? Jeez. Or you don't have to stay at our shelter. You can just go someplace. Oh, we have the right to drink on the street. and drink ourselves to death if we want to. You certainly do. Go right ahead. My hat's off to you. Have at it. But you're not going to stay at our shelter unless you take a shower, take Antabuse, sober up, get a job, and pay $25 a week to stay here. No, not $25 a week. Oh, that's so mean. Not only that, you have to cook your own meals. No, not cook our own meals. No. And you have to clean up after yourself and make your own bed. No. These are the issues about the homeless shelter. And that's why the damn homeless shelter isn't at 777 Broadway, because the people who run it and the people who are on the board didn't want to look at those simple issues. A wet shelter in the wintertime, when it's cold. Then give the guys some mats with, if they're really bad. I'm not advocating that, people freeze to death on our streets, but there's a big, big difference between a flophouse wet shelter and a Denver Care sort of operation and a homeless shelter where it's a hand up and not a hand out. You know what I do to those guys that are out there, hey, hold the sign up, give me $1, I give them a dime. When I was really little and I asked my dad, can I have money? And he'd say, well, if you mow the lawn, I'll give you $0.25. Wasn't your dad like that? You take out the garbage every day during the week, you get 25 cents, 50 cents. Hand out, you get a dime. A dime? What am I going to do? So I give these guys a dime. Yeah, I have a bunch of dimes, and I drive by and you see them. Hey man, you get some money. I pull up and I say, here, okay, here's a dime. And they look at it and then dime, and then they go, fuck you, a dime. A dime? Oh, I want $1. Give them a dime.
Jan, I just want to tell you I really appreciate your show. I think you have a lot of good stuff to say about third-party reform candidates and the such, the like, and thank you.
Well, let's get something straightened out here. I am definitely not in favor of Pat Buchanan or anybody in the Reform Party. Okay? I think Ross Perot is like, he's a little too crazy.
9. Incorrect key.
You just stay there. Okay, but Ben Thompson, perhaps he has something to offer us all. Thanks for the call.
Dan Craig Avery here from the Daily Camera on, Thursday, the 27th. I'm trying to follow up on the message you left me and Pam about the incident last night at CATV.
Yeah.
If you could give me a call back in today, that'd be great. I'm at 303-473-13.
Okay, the incident that took place at CATV that he's talking about. All right, that incident, you know about it, it's documented, it's in the paper. I attend a board meeting. Have several things I'd like to say about the operation of CATV, like why don't they play our shows 24 hours a day and get that stupid reading services of the Rockies off the air, have the staff be a little more polite, and put local shows on more and get these imported shows the hell off and change our time, like on Jan Scott Tonight. We produce 4 new shows a week. Give us 4 primetime slots instead of 2. And we got shouted down by Frank Orthman, Jeannie No Woods, and Dan Culberson. And my message to the city council and Benita Duran and the rest of the city is, what the hell do you have these people in there for? They've got 2 criminal investigations going on as it is. Guy Arkson has assault charges that he alleges. I mean, why are these people still there?
Police Department at 441-3311. Listen, I got a copy of your email. Mark asked that I give you a call. So get back with me when you get the chance. I hope not to be here tomorrow. I'm staying late tonight to try to get things caught up. I've got some personal stuff I have to attend to. So if you need something urgent, you can always call the communications number, either 911 for an ongoing emergency or 441-33.
CATV is an ongoing emergency.
For something that requires...
It's an ongoing train wreck.
...immediate response, but not an emergency. Just so you know, Officer or Detective Guzman will be back, I think, on Tuesday. I went down and checked the calendar before I called you to see if he was going to be back from vacation.
We want police protection at those board meetings.
Actually, I'll leave his talk about the status of the CATV case and find out what's going on and let them know that you have some other issues that you want to
Damn right I do.
at the same time. So hopefully that will do it for you,
Yeah.
and if that's the case, then I would suspect that we would be getting back with you sometime next week. So I
Yeah.
hope that does it for you, Jan, and I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.
Yeah. What we want at the CATV board meetings is a police officer provided by the city, paid for by CATV, to stand against the wall and make sure that the public is protected, so that people like Frank Orthman and Jeannie No Woods and Skinnell and the rest of them can't stand up and attack somebody and then blame that person on the attack. And you'll sometimes see police officers at various board meetings, like they were at the city council meeting when the crazy gun lobby showed up. Of course, and we need them. Christ, these people are more dangerous than the gun lobby. So my message on television to Benita Duran and to Ron Seacrest is get off your butts and get us a police officer in that board meeting so members of the public like myself or Guy Erickson or Donna Merrick or Bill Hamill or anybody else can go in there, including Benita Duran, and say what they want to say without being physically attacked and intimidated and threatened. Jeez Louise.
That's your message. That's quite funny. Don't feel bad. I'm sure you don't.
Wayne Laugesen, I don't.
That was great. Guy obviously learns, he's obviously intrigued by your show. So anyway, I'll talk with you later. Bye.
That's my friend Wayne Laugesen from Boulder Weekly.
Erase. Press
Our
save.
best newspaper in Boulder Award 1999.
Erase.
We'll be doing those new
Message.
awards soon.
Wednesday, June 7th at
Yeah,
2.
you're watching me. Call me on the jawline.
Hi, Jan. This is Kim Johnson
No,
from
no.
Caty Jann.
Say we have to skip.
For me. Hey, Jan. It's Ginger calling. John's back in town, so don't worry about calling me back. But someone to add to the list. Race.
That one wasn't supposed to be on TV.
July 28th at 6:52 p.m.
Hey, Jan. Sorry you're not there. I was kind of hoping you would be, because right now I've got time to run over there.
Guy Erickson. Hi, Guy. Pointless.
I'll see if I can get free early enough tomorrow afternoon to do some good. But it probably wouldn't be until like 1:32, if that's not too.
I don't know why you're never there. Why you're never there when I'm trying to reach you. But this is
Yeah.
late. Give me a call, please, on any number you have for me. We'll catch up on this thing. I've placed calls, left messages, but you know how it goes.
On the job.
Eager to connect and
Yeah.
eager to help.
There you
End of
He
message.
sounds like he's on his deathbed.
Erase.
CATV is on. Hi, Jan. Rick Guzman, Boulder PD, 441-4485. Calling you regarding our conversation yesterday. I was wondering if you could, I know it's kind of a pain in the butt maybe, to give me in a written form what your allegations are against CATV as far as that missing money, which I think
You got time to read a novel?
another additional $5,000.
Yeah.
Allegations are against CATV as far as that missing money, was that I think $12,000, possibly another additional $5,000.
$1,000 and an additional
That would help me greatly as far
$5,000.
as how I'm going to approach this. So if you could just
Just
do that.
drop the hammer on them.
Well, and I'll try to proceed another way, but it'd be great if I could get that in written form. Thank you very much. Hey, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
I'm kind of wondering why David Cameron wrote an article about a man extorting a urinalysis at Night Point, which had an effect on people that person knows, and didn't follow it up.
Sounds like you needed a urine analysis.
Starting things like that, and then that not following through. How about a comment on that?
How about it? I don't know. I'm not in your delusion. I can't really comment on your personal delusions.
Just let me know. I'm watching your show.
I don't know.
Erased. Sent Saturday.
Delusionary problem.
At 3:26
Certain of it.
a.m.
A.M. 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Mr. Scott's got so foul-mouthed. I don't appreciate it. And a little salt to his mouth, because I've sure heard him get down on other folks for cussing. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye.
Alright, thank you. You're welcome. Well, Mr. Scott has got a mental problem. That's probably why he curses too much. Thanks for your call. Hi. Call me here on the jawline. Let's talk, you and I. Just between us. No one else will know.
How are ya?
Hi.
I got your message. Thanks so much for calling. I was away for the weekend, so I apologize for not getting back to you
Who is it?
sooner.
Message. Who the hell is this?
Hey,
Message.
It's Kim Shannon.
Oh, yeah. The
I got
CATV
your message.
pet.
Thanks so much for calling. I was away for the weekend, so I apologize for...
Now, the reason she had to leave CATV was Bobby Carlton promised that she was going to make all of this money, and she didn't make anything. She had to get a job. She went broke. That's what they do to their pets. They just fuck them in the butt. Like the rest of us.
Sooner. I haven't been. I finished my last
Said California
project
Valley Girl.
about 2 months ago, and I'm actually moving to San Francisco.
Moving. Oh my God, back to California.
Really appreciate the offer or the possibility of perhaps working together.
Yeah.
And I get to have a lot of projects. But
I'm so busy.
I am off on an adventure of life.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to find someone else, my friend.
Okay.
I hope you're well. Hope everything's going well and your shows are going well.
They are.
I wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for calling, and have a great one.
Meow. And there's a...
Erased.
Oh, whatever.
Tuesday at 8:39.
How you enjoying the show? You like it?
So this message is for Jan Scott. Jan, this is Mr. Gutowski with Direct Merchants Bank. The number here is 1-877-507-3.
A.M.
Hey.
Hey, Jan, it's Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
This morning, please. Really want to talk with you about the Whole Foods saga. 303-494-5511. Thanks, Jan.
Alright. Whole Foods, you know what happened there. To read this week's Boulder Weekly, we are in there again. In the press 3 times this week. This is the most popular television show in Boulder. It is why we continually end up in the press. And I'm always so amazed at the TV station that has to run my television show, the TV station that the city hired to serve me and to serve the rest of the public. They always decide, well, we will just get him alone and we will just slap him around. And then, of course, the press picks up on everything they do. And I guess the prerequisite to serve on a city board in Boulder is basically that you have an IQ of about 65. Okay, anyway, Whole Foods goes whole hog. Vegetarian employees cry foul at meat-insensitive party. Did you read this? This is a Wayne Lagerson news story in the Boulder Weekly. Health food superstore Whole Foods had a summer party for employees last week and served up a whole hog. Vegetarians and vegans who comprise a large chunk of the working force were mad. The cops showed up on a noise complaint, that's about 11:30 at night, came in on the scanner, and worst of all, someone invited tell-all TV talk show host Jan Scott. What do you mean, worst of all? I was like the star of the party. What the hell are you talking about? Best of all, best of all, best of all. Get this, they had KT's Barbecue cater this event, which are good. KT's good. It was all their standard chicken, beef, and pork, Scott says. So guess what they had for the vegetarians? Yeah, here's the rub. They had coleslaw and beans. Oh, and chocolate chip cookies. Oh, and some portobello mushrooms that they tried to grill and they were a mess. So the vegetarians, they were all grumbling because it was like Whole Foods' major vegetarian place to work. They didn't have anything for them. Anyway, so that's the story. Just invite me to your party if you want to see it in the paper the next day. In fact, you know, we were at a party yesterday. We went to CU Media Day, and we had, wait till you see this buffet for the football team. Woo! Up to CU at Folsom Field. I'm waiting for you to hold the stuff. at the Dull War Center. This is Media Day here on Jim Scott tonight. We're going to see you talking to the volleyball team, the soccer team, the foosball team. The foosball. Gary Barnett, he's the coach for foosball. And then eating and food.
No touching. By the way, what'd you say? You're talking. No touching. Oh, sorry.
No, we want.
It was a good experience, learning experience as far as competing with people like Adam and.
I came out pretty healthy. I was still kind of sort of recovering from
what was the setback?
Setback was the back again, but on the opposite side. Maybe since I was just a little kid. So for me to be able to head out to Sydney and represent the United States is a dream come true. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always set my goals that way. I have a goal sheet from when I first started running in training back when I was in my sophomore year in Doherty High School in Colorado Springs. I said then, this was.
I mean, yeah, there's points in this sport where you have to look at things realistically. You have to set your goals.
And that's the mental state I'm in right now, where no fear. I can't be afraid. I have nothing to lose.
For me, mentally, I mean, that's honestly, that's a huge chunk of the sport. Because there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of expectations from sponsors and expectations you put on yourself. So it's
what I've been working for a long time. So
I'm from West Africa, Liberia. I'm from Monrovia, actually. Last year, during the summer, I ran for Liberia in the World Championships on their 4x4 relay team. That's how it all came about. They contacted me at CU through Mark Whitmore, and they wanted to see if they had any athletes in America that was willing to run a 4x4 leg. And because
Cool. Are you the hard sports guys?
Yeah, these two are here.
Which two? Oh, really? Who's who?
Jim Ryan and Simon Fletcher. Yeah. And Nestor Charlak.
And you and Lee Larson.
I'm Lee Larson, that's exactly right.
All right, well then I will, we still got over here.
Really? You're going to do it right? Okay. Oh my God, it's Irvin Joe.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Dave, you don't it's okay.
It's like Happy Days. So I had a Joni and Chachi for me.
Well, we're here for Media Day, and I just had huge lunch. We're going to look at the volleyball team today. Actually, football. You had huge lunch. We're going to look at the volleyball team today. Actually, football. You want to see the food? Unbelievable.
Lots of bowl of cherries, strawberries.
Start the show.
Give them a bunch. Lots of mashed potatoes. Go ahead, load it up. Gonna burn those off in practice later, huh? No. Wait. Here's chocolate cake. Yeah. And this is why I come to sporting events right here. birthday here. Which is, I don't quite get. How you doing? Here, smile for the camera. You're excited about today?
Oh, yes, right. Always. He signed up, and as soon as Fox lost its affiliateship,
Hey. How's it going? How you doing? Smile, boys. You're going to be on television.
That's Jen Scott.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
Well, I'm losing weight. I'm ready to race your ass.
Yeah. Take me on anytime, man. I'll kick your ass, man. Let's go right now.
Like around the field is.
I can put that on television.
Ready, I think the specialists in the special teams areas are improving. I think that the surrounding cast looks very good. I think we've answered our problem in the long snapping category with Neil Hanifin. What we've been able to see so far is terrific. Everybody knows we have a rugged schedule. We've got to stay healthy. We've got to be a little bit lucky. But I expect to sneak up on us. Take some questions. Tell us about the progress. You guys, because youngsters of you will probably take his fishing work. Youngsters of you will probably take his fishing work.
Who do you see returning punts and kicks this year? Who are you looking at?
Well, those are hard to really determine who will do it in the spring, so we're going to have to probably experiment a little bit here in fall camp. Cedric Cormier should help us.
He's the coach for foosball. How's it going, you guys? Hey. How you doing? Yeah, Jen Scott, Boulder Fire Department here for toxic inspection. Flying. Huh? Any toxic spills in here?
Only in the bathroom.